All righty. Doc here from North America, from the Platonic Banana Republic of America. That's what it's come down to now. It's a platonic one, solely because it's not really a banana republic, but it's trying to be. You know, it's like a child that tries to dress up like an adult. You know, we have our criminal-like government at this point trying to be a banana republic, but you know, America is so strong and so great. The laws are so strong and so great that even when the highest political people in the United States have power, they still can't totally abuse us. They can try, but they can't. And that's what they're doing now. This is historical, you know, beyond the teapot dome scandal in the 1910s, like 1913, 1914, or you know, the Watergate break-in in the 70s. This is going to be, you know, historic on so many levels. It's going to be amazing. You know, like all these people in the FBI and the Justice Department and, you know, I'm trying to think where else. You know, the White House. It's going to penetrate 2 or 3 presidential administrations. It just doesn't stop. They just keep on doing, you know, anything they can to stay in power. And that's where we're at the moment. Now, what is that? Why do I have 2 screens up there? I should have one. Can everybody see one? Let me go to the chat line, make sure everybody can hear me, and I'm not fantasizing that I'm, you know, since I'm in this nursing home and in Fantasyland. No. Okay, let's go here. Not there. Okay. Right there. And let's see, what do we got here? We got this. So right there, we go to Dugoscopy. We click on DocDow. Ooh. Ancient Egyptian understood they could use the sound to reduce their... Oh, how cute. And there is Mountain. Hey, Mountain, I saw some of the I saw them yesterday. I saw the girls playing. Yeah, I was watching them. That was really cool. Hey, Robin. I've been out farming for hours. And, let's see. Okay, yeah, you see one, so that's good enough. I'm not sure. I'm seeing 2 on this screen here, but that's all right. You can see one, and I'm seeing what you're seeing. And I can hear me. So, anyway... Welcome to the Platonic Banana Republic of America. That's what it really comes down to. It's platonic. There's no real sex in it. You know, there's no penetration. It's not going to generate a new America on any level whatsoever. It's going to clean us up. It's time for house cleaning, and they're going to clean it up, and then the room will be clean again. In this case, the country will be clean again, and they will get rid of these characters. Let's see, semifinals for women yesterday. Yeah, I was watching that. Boy, that was tight. You know, 6-7, 7-6. Then it was 2-2. Then it jumped up to 5-2. You know, it was pretty good. Pretty good tennis. Made me want to build that tennis court. After I get done all my farming and get everything else done around here, maybe somewhere at the end of the summer I can put the tractor to it, or the backhoe, and get the construction king loose. Let the construction king loose. I'll build a big pile of clay, you know, and then from there I'll make my court. I'll have to figure out the thickness. If you know, Mountain, I mean, I'll look it up on Google and see how thick is that clay court. Is it like a half a foot? Is it 6 inches? Is it 10 inches of clay? Something like that. Because I got plenty of it. All right, so let's get, that's right there. Oh, yeah, and the little ruble, it was jumping again last night. You can see what they did right there. Little ruble made it up to 26.16. Today it's just up a little bit. It's digesting. We'll see if we get that 1/3 retracement up, which would put it in the 33 area. So little rubles looks like, now that could take 3 or 4 months too, but we mentioned it yesterday morning, and what happened? It went on walkabout for the Aussie people out there. It just took off and went right up about 3 handles. making high new highs, all-time highs. So we've seen now the little ruble, or better known as the euro, not euro, the Turkish lira, which we like to call the little ruble, because it's matching the way the little ruble, how the old currency that shall not be named, like Voldemort in Harry Potter. So this is the little ruble, and that's what this is. It's maybe it'll go to halfway to the little ruble, to the big ruble. Maybe it'll get to like 37. I don't know. Who knows? All we know is we're in a weekly buy since the 20, and here it is at 26. So that's the answer to all of it in the end. Semi-final women, yes, world number one will start to play in 15 minutes. Ooh, cool. I might have to throw that on a channel somewhere. Mountain West says, clay court, I would say 12 inches to 18 inches. Yeah, that would make sense to me. Normally the earth has topsoil on the surface, then the clay further down, and then the rock further down. Well, we don't have rock. We just have clay, and then clay. We have 3 layers of clay. One is about, what is it? About a foot and a half, about 2 feet down. We have one level of clay. It's white. And then we have like a gray one, almost like bluish to some extent, down another 2 feet. And then we have the orange clay. No, wait, I'm sorry. The orange clay is like 3 or 4 feet down. And then we go to a white clay that's totally white. I mean, like real white, whereas the one and a half is more like gray than it is white. And sometimes it looks bluish. Sometimes I find a strata of blue, too. I've taken my backhoe and gone down 10 or 11 feet, 12 feet, and I see all kinds of stratas. So, all right, we got the dollar index up there. Let's check that out. You can see it's pressing down for a second day. Let's get it up on Chicano Quant. Chicago. And right there it is. And you can see it's been in the daily sell for a day now. And the pressure is not alleviating. It's just kind of sideways. It's not really doing anything. But look at the weeklies. Even the fast algorithm on the weekly is not minus. It's pierced the manifold right there. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the mouse at? It's pierced the manifold right there. But, it's not much. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a heck of a drop, and you can see it's done that drop. But, it's not really breaking down too hard. Let's see. Yeah, red clay, brown clay. We have a gray clay, and sometimes I find a blue clay. It's like it's actually like a bluish, not purple, but it's in between blue and purple. But we call it blue clay because sometimes it can be really rich. But we haven't done that in decades. We haven't dug down in decades looking around here. But we will. I'm gonna seriously start collecting the gray clay and build a major pile of it over the next 6 months, and then from there I think I'll try to put it together. Maybe I'll put up a simpler court. No, I shouldn't. I should put a good clay court up. I think I'll try to do that. Anyway, that's where we're at. From the dollar index, we slide over to the euro. Let's see what the euro looks like. And there's the euro. I know it went into the buy yesterday. Let's steal this buy. Just move it right there like that. There's the buy. It's back in the saddle again. And you can see as a weekly, the fast has broken the manifold right here. And it's trying to get through the zero line. We'll see how well it does about getting through the zero line right there. And you can see the slow is kind of hesitant. Ooh, weren't we looking at it got to the 80 area, right? Yeah, there it is. It got up to, the high is 107.87. Let's go take a look at that. I saved all those things. That was kind of fun. I like looking at that stuff. There is the hourly, which I like a lot better. And you can see there, went into the buy there yesterday, and it stayed into that buy all the way up until right there. Let's widen that out, and then we'll put a red line in there too. Ooh, let's do this. Let's grab that one. So it stayed in the buy all the way till right there. We'll make them even thickerish so you can like go like, wow, Doc, magic math. Magnetic math. Right there. So it went into the buy there and made that move all the way up to here. So I guess we could go like this. Like that. There we are. There it is. And now it's doing it again. It's trying to get into the buy. It's we'll see. See, it's got a little tail. Let's widen this out so you can see that. You can see it has the little tails there. It doesn't have the conviction. It doesn't have the conviction. Let's see. Mountain West says, if you have the funds, just put in concrete. No. 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 Whoa, what kind of maintenance? What do I got to do? Shave it or something like that? Or keep the grass from growing in it? It'd be fun. Having something like a clay court would be fun. I guess heavy rains have an effect on it. You can't play with it in the rain, right? It gets slippery. It'd be a slip and slide. Got to make it really level, too. Can you imagine? Oh, okay. Well, that's no problem. We got plenty of water. We got the largest aquifer in the United States right here. I'm right underneath it. If I go down 700 feet, I can hit saltwater. And I go down 550 feet, I get into the Raritan. And it's some of the best fresh water in the world. Indeed. That's what the pine lands are all about. I'm a piney. All right. So that's the action we're seeing there in the euro. That's so cool. I like that. All right. We'll minimize that now and send that away. And that's the S&P 500. You can see we're flirting with the 4,300 area. See, the plutonic banana republic of America is not taking anything too much to heart, or the markets would be all kinds of 1970s. And it's not happening. So it's all good here. Yeah. Well, it becomes slippery, that's for sure. It becomes dust. Benny and the Jets. Dun, 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 dun. And here is your picture, Benny. Let's see what it looks like this morning. Right there. Oh, it's trying to get into the buy. And the weekly is getting very, very close. Look at that. It's only minus 0.00153. It's getting closer to that zero. And you can see the daily is 0. Not minus, but 0. Right there. You can see it. 0.00063. So 5 digits out. It's the atomic weight of we can generate the atomic weight of GBP AUD. That's the atomic weight of it. Or lately I've been thinking I could call our math the Kabbalah of finance. The Zohan of finance. Ah, joy, oh joy, it's TGIF. All right, so from there we'll go to the normal cable, and there it is right there. It also, let's grab one of these greenies, and there it is right there. It's in a daily buy from yesterday. The fast has busted the top part of the manifold. I'm not always happy when that happens. I would like to see the green get through the negative side of this manifold. But notice that the manifold is so tight right now. When's the last time we've seen it that tight? It's been a while, hasn't it? That's pretty tight. Last time we had something like that, it tightened up to the point, and it did a nice little sell off, and we went into a weekly sell. And now we're doing, what are we doing over here? We're still in the weekly sell, and it's rallying, and we've been more days of buy than sell at the moment. That's what's going on there. So we've been in a buy for 4 days and 2 days at 6, and we've been in a sell for 3 days. So it's 50% more. We'll see how that plays out. And we're in a weekly sell, so you can't really play the long side. You just don't be short. That's all. Don't be short. You never know when the next sell comes, and it's going to be like, it could be something meaningful or not meaningful. Who knows? In the end result, all we know is that we follow the math, and we're usually right. Almost 9 out of 10 times. The key word is almost 9 out of 10 times. 8.5 out of 10 times is very high in the 99% area. So, and then the number drops when it try to get into the 9 out of 10. It drops a little bit lower into the 78 to 82. All right. Still damn high numbers. Okay, and then think about this: when you marry a option or binary to a hard delta, oh boy, that's Sex in the City, baby. All right, I guess the Plutonic Banana Republic of America has got me thinking in all kinds of directions this morning. All right, let's go over to the Swissy. Let's see how Mr. and Mrs. Swiss are doing. Ooh, smacky doodle. Went into the sell there yesterday. Let's go. Geez, this thing stays in really good trends, doesn't it? I was going to go steal a sell, but there's not many sells or buys. This thing can stay in great moods, you know. Let's do this. Let's bring this down a little bit. Make that a little bit bigger. Let's widen this a little bit. And then move it up a tad. And let's put the daily sell in there. Went into the daily sell yesterday. It's basically up a little bit today. Nothing major. And we are in a weekly buy. Hence, you can't take that trade on the sell side. Let's put that line in there like that. There it is. And let's put the, okay, you can see the line right there for that. Let's make it that a little bit thicker-ish, like so. There we are. Now let's move this down a little bit too. Down. There you go. That's better. Yeah. What else can we say about that? Oh, not much. Let's see. Oh, you like tighter is better? Okay. Let's see. Doc Mountain says, I don't blame you at all for talking about trading because Robin is here. Yeah, he keeps me in. Robin keeps me. When Janos is not here, Robin is here. One or the other pulls me back to reality. Sometimes I can slide out into the ozone. The next thing I know, I'm talking about the Zohan and our math at the same time. Tighter is better. Doc, what's happening in the euro? Oh, let's go back to it. Let's first get back to the daily. Right there. There's the daily. And we went into a buy there yesterday, and it's kind of sloppy at the moment. But check this out. I know you'll enjoy this. Here's what we looked at yesterday. Here's the hour. We have the hourly and the 4 hourly. And it's bad enough I don't like hours to begin with, or minutes. But look at that. There's the... we went into the buy during the webinar yesterday. And it's been in that buy all the way up to this red line here late last night. Almost like a 24-hour period. It stayed in the daily buy on the hourly. And then it went into the sell there. And it went down. And now it's flirting. It's flirting. That's all it really is. Let me widen this out more so you can see it. You can see the two tails there on the right there. So it's not in the buy yet because the green and the cyan or blue has to be above the zero line. And they're not. And so, like right here, it goes into the sell. And then, it finds a way to go down in value. And, it goes into the buy and it finds a way to go up in value. And it goes into the sell right here, finds a way to go down in value, not much. And it goes into the buy here, and it finds a way to go up in value. I guess that emphasis out of those four was right, and right. All right. Okay, let's see. What else can we say about that? Does that make any sense to you? And GBP USD, we was in a sell then, and it did a U-turn. Yeah. Well, I think it did that dead cat bounce. I think that's what it really comes down to. Let me minimize that, send that packing, and go over to cable. Let's see what you see. What it is what it is. Yeah, so we're in a weekly sell for 3 weeks now. This is the third week. Now we got a bounce again out of it there, but you know, it's not. There's no real action out of it in the sense that it's just kind of it's lethargic at this point. It's trapped. Matter of fact, when we widen this thing, you can see it plateaued there for a while. Where's that mousey at? It plateaued there for a while, then it plateaued there. Now again, maybe it's going to have another leg up. It's going to try to do something. But when we get into that weekly buy, more than likely, especially, well, you can see this. Now that we're really looking at it close, and let's tighten it up. You can see here, the fast algorithm. Did it make it into the weekly buy last week? No, it did not. It was a minus. But this week, the fast algorithm is climbing over the manifold and going into a buy. Now, if we can get the green line to try to join in on the next little sell-off, when we do another one of these things, or another one of these things like that, or one of those again, one of those cute little sell-offs after a dead cat bounce, then maybe it won't be a dead cat bounce. It'll be something like this, like the last time we got into the weekly buy here. It ran from the 120 area all the way up to the 126 area. So, we might, it may be beginning. Let's put it that way. It did the same thing back here. It closed in a weekly. The fast algorithm closed in the week. The fast algorithm closed in a weekly buy. We went into the daily buy. We got some push on the upside. You're not short at this point. You may not be long unless you're using the right instruments. And then from there, it catches traction with the slow algorithm, jumping through, and you get that move from the 120ish area all the way up to the 126 area over a 8-week period. What happened? Let's see. And GBP was in selling. Okay. And Benny says, "What do you mean a dead cat bounce?" Aha. A dead cat bounce goes in there with Schrodinger's Copenhagen conjecture rejection. Ooh, I like that. Oh, I was rhyming. I should be a rapper. I should be like a financial rapper. A dead cat bounce is an analogy. It represents the concept that you can take a brick or any object, drop it out of, say, a 4 or 5 story window. It hits the ground and bounces. It doesn't bounce because it's alive. It bounces because of the law of physics and the two objects hitting each other and one being less dense than the other moves. Okay? And so in New York City, where it was the heart of equity trading, people had tall buildings they lived in, and they had pets, and they had cats and dogs and so forth. Well, the cats are kind of, I can attest, I lived in Chicago on the 29th floor of a corner apartment, and I had a cat. And it would, if it had a shot at the window, it would go for it. I had to leave the screen. They didn't have screens in the windows that high up. So when you opened the window, there was no screen, to keep out bugs because bugs weren't that high up. And the cat would always lay on, at the windows because I had a lot of windows. And so cats in New York City would slip out the window and fall. And cats have been recorded to fall, 15, 20 stories and walk away. That's the amazing thing. But sometimes a cat would fall and die. And even with it dead, it would still bounce up. Okay? And so that's why in the financial industry we refer to that as a dead cat bounce. And that is, it doesn't mean that there's a lot of energy and it's alive anymore. It just bounces and goes up because it's the natural rhythm to the market itself. Supply and demand and things. But it doesn't mean that it's going to walk away. Most cats don't when you fall 20 stories. So that's a dead cat bounce. Does that make any sense? Okay. Anyhow, that's a dead cat bounce. And so in this case here, it does its correction. It goes up. Let me get that right mouse again, right there. It goes up. You see it right here going up. Then it corrects from there. It goes up again and may correct again. But this time, with the fast moving through the zero line on the weekly, if the green will join in, especially if it's next week's business, maybe we get a big move. We get a move 4 or 5 handles over the next month or something like that. It's all relative, because when you're trading options, you don't necessarily need a big move to make money. And so, let me say that again. You don't need a big move to make big money in options. I'm going to say that one more time because it's a really important thing. I never really think about it that loud. I never say it out loud. But in options, you can trade a product that only goes up 4 or 5 handles. Or it's a stock that goes up $4 or $5 or down $4 or $5, and you can make incredible amounts of money from it. Well beyond the imagination. So, it doesn't take much. So, in this case here, a 5 or 6 handle move in the currencies with the right vehicle, okay, can be incredibly low risk but high gain, and you can build trapezoids or butterflies or broken wing butterflies, or you can go bananas and go do an iron condor on the Chicago side. You can't do a East Coast iron butterfly because it's a different animal, but it's more of a box. Actually, that's what it is. I was talking with those guys at Tasty about 2 or 3 months ago. They were doing a webinar, and I was watching, and I chimed in, and I said, "Do you know the difference between an iron butterfly, an iron condor? I'm sorry, an iron condor in Chicago versus one at the American or the Philadelphia Options Exchange?" And they said, "No, I don't. I didn't even hear. I've never heard about that." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I don't. Every time you guys say condor, I always think Chicago." And he says, "Oh, okay." I said, "Look it up." And so the iron condor on the East Coast is a box, but the iron condor in Chicago is a put butterfly, call butterfly. So it depends on the vehicle. Oh, Tay, from there. Oh, I wanted to. Okay, it doesn't matter. From there. Let's go over to where are we at now. We're looking at GBP. So we did the Swissy, and if anybody wants to go back to the Swissy, say it. We'll go to the yen now, because I have a yen for the yen. And there's the yen. Slid into the sell yesterday. It's since it's in a weekly buy, you don't want to take the short, so just don't be long. As Mr. Miyagi would say in The Karate Kid, don't be there. Don't be there. You know how not to get punched or kicked? Don't be there. I like that. I just told one of my friends is a third degree. He was getting hit by some type of staff, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing that for? You're 50. You're like 48 years old. Why are you getting hit with a staff?" I said, "Go, Mr. Miyagi, on it. Don't be there." Okay. Anyhow, maybe I'll find that picture and I'll show it to you. Yeah, I might do that right now. It's Friday. I'm moving in the lens of Polina and Greta, and back in the old days of Dukascopy, Fridays were just all kinds of fun and games. Let's see if I can find it. I think I will be able to find it. Let's see. We'll find this and I'll show you what I was talking about. It's well worth it. Well worth paying attention to. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot of buttons to push. Let's see if I can find it. Getting warmer. So the yen, I guess you could say, the yen is basically, trapped in some type of situation where we have this interest rate / rate increase / inflation. Like, I don't know how to get out of this type of thing. We're trapped and we're spiraling out of space and not really making a lot of sense anymore when it comes to the interest rate factor. We do know that the markets are looking at this and they're not concerned. So that's a good thing. The markets are not like panicking or doing anything like that. See, I'm scrolling. Is that it? No, that's not it. But oh yeah, it is. Okay, I found it. Let's see if I can. There we go. There it is. Here we go. This fellow right here. That's right. This fellow right here, I'm friends with. We discuss different things and so forth. And he's a third degree. And why he lets them hit him with a stick, I have no idea. I'm going to give him a brief about it again tonight. Tell him I showed the whole world about that. It's like I said to him, be like Mr. Miyagi. Don't be there. I do a little lecturing when it comes to where's that mouse at? I do a little lecturing in martial arts too. There we go. Don't be there. Alright, from there, let me get rid of that. There we go. Alright, so from the yen, we'll jump over to our BRIC index, the leader of the BRICS. Let's go check out the Mexican peso, looking very firm. It's not letting go. And so the BRICS are really holding on strong against the dollar. You can see it's been when it's going down like that, that means that it's been gaining in value against the dollar. So the peso, Mexican peso, is the main BRIC, and so they got to put that in there. How do you get BRIC M? I guess we could call it MBRIC. MBRIC. That's what we'll call it. MBRIC, like M for Mexican peso, and then BRI. Let's see, what's a B stand for? Brazil. They got to rechange that name altogether. Brazil's, go from the strong. So it's got to be like MS, because it's Mexican peso, then the South African rand, and then the Indian rupee. They're the three main BRIC currencies. And so the rest of them are, schlock at this point. They're just junk. So there's the BRIC doing its thing. And you can see it's been in the daily sell-off right there. So that means it's gaining against the dollar for weeks now. And you can see it's in the weekly sell since back up in here. So it's not letting go. The conviction is definitely on that side of it, Now, where am I at from there? Let's go from there. We slide over to, we look at the little ruble again. There's little ruble. And better known as the Turkish lira. And you can see there it's doing its best to move in precarious ways. We're thinking that the top of this product is probably anywhere from the 31 to 33 area, somewhere along the line before it finds a real vacation. We'll see. I don't know if they can make an announcement on any level at this point that would give them excitement and make them want to rally it. Unless they actually said, okay, we're going to get rid of the government we have and we're going to become a constitutional republic. But I don't think that's going to happen, so forget about that. All right, and then from there, we go to the Canadian dollar, and we'll look at the energy sector with that at the same time. Notice it's been parked down there really tight. There's like this, I guess, I'm not sure what that's all about. It's playing the bottom end of the triangle range. You can see that right there. Banging up against it for the last 3 days. It stopped there just like it stalled out for 6 days on the top of it. When we go and look at, let's put oil up on J4X. Right there, light sweet crude. Sounds yummy to me. Put it right on the top of my cake. I'm going to eat it with a cherry on top. You can see the yellow line is trading in the 57s. The green's in the 48s. So it's down about 18% for the day. It's underneath. So it's showing us this weakness in the oil, which is uncharacteristic. Normally, when the oil goes down, the Canadian dollar finds a way to go up and lose against the dollar. But in this case here, it is like a honey badger. It says, I don't care. And you can see here the product has, that pop from the Saudis last weekend has dropped almost $5 from that, spike that made everybody so excited. Me so excited. Jar Jar Biggs. Ooh, me excited. And obviously whatever they planned on is about as sharp as Jar Jar Biggs. Yes, indeed. And you can see it's been in the daily sell for 4 days now, and it doesn't seem to be really getting any traction. It had looked like yesterday we were going to go into the buy. That's why we had the green line there. But Buckus, definitely Buckus. And this morning I think it actually, let me look at what we sent out this morning. I think it was above the zero line this morning. Let's see if we can find it. Right there. Yeah, see, this morning, when we sent it out, it was above the zero line. You can see that right there. Right there. Above the zero line, right there. But it's lost its punch. And let's do this, too. There is the September contract. And it was the same. It couldn't get through it. The back month could not. Now they're trading at parity, basically, so... there's not a lot of excitement there when it comes to. Let's put it this way: the back months are not discounted anymore, and there's a premium to them. So obviously, there's a delivery problem with the oil somewhere along the line. That's part of the recipe of it all when it does that stuff. So lira is heading down. You mean losing value? Yes. Yeah, it looks like it wants to lose value. Now, it's really weird. Investors see the Fed meeting as flat. They don't believe the increase is coming. Right. They're not going to cut, but they may skip. And the market is basically trying to tell us they're going to skip next week. That's what they're trying to say. And even with that employment number that came out on Friday, and it freaked everything out. They were probably saying, not happening. So lira is heading down, exactly. I call it now the little ruble. It's trading like the way the ruble did when it broke out of the teens, When the ruble broke the low teens, it's starting to trade the same way. Now we are up in the 26s. Before you know it, it'll be 31 or 33, and President Aragon has got an idea. I like to say, former Prime Minister, now President Aragon, has been the steward or the controller or the captain of taking that lira from 1 to the dollar to 26 to the dollar. So he's trying to devalue it to jumpstart the economy on some type of socialism. And that don't work. That do not work. This does not work. How many other ways can I say it? It's the dead end. That's a dead end. It's the only way. Socialism will bury you. Sooner or later, as the great Margaret Thatcher said, you run out of other people's money. That's right. Sooner or later, you run out of other people's money. How does what work? Devaluing it? It's a Keynesian thing. They used to try to knock their currency down a little bit during the years of fundamentals were more functional, and so what they do is they would move the currency down and make people come in and buy cheaper goods because their currency was stronger than the other side of the pairs. But at this point in time, world commerce is not. I mean, Europe is barely growing. China doesn't grow. It doesn't help out any. What country besides the United States is growing? And even now, we're down to 1%. Because our socialists are in charge, our criminal socialists, no less. Now, Biden and his family were fingered yesterday morning. In other words, the Congress released the news that Biden took a $5 million bribe and then distributed the money throughout his family. And so last night they had to do something, so they indicted, instead of indicting Biden, they indicted Donald Trump. It's like, because they're all criminals running our government right now. Plutonic Banana Republic Americans, that's what they are. Plutonic Banana Republic, because they're not going to grow, let's put it that way. So it's plutonic. It's like, you're not doing anything that's going to grow. You're just wasting time. Anyhow, there's the crude and the Canadian. Let's go back to the Canadian. And Canadian is parked now, just like it was on top of the triangle. It's parked at the bottom of the triangle. All right, and from there we go over to the second biggest currency in the M BRIC index, and that is the South African rand. You can see it's gaining against the dollar also. See that? It's gaining against the dollar. And it's at a daily sell since, where's that daily sell line? Right there. It's been in the sell, not there, no. Right there. It's been in the sell since here. And you got that move there. The fast broke underneath, and the strong is trying to break down. At the same time, that's a signal, normally, without all the political problems in South Africa with the president of the country. Gold, let's put gold up on J4X. Right, where are you, gold? Right there. There's gold. And gold is lifting. You can see that right there. It moves in the opposite direction of the MBRIC, the South African rand. And then you can see over here, take a look at gold on Chicago Quant. And there it is right there. Closed in a daily buy yesterday. It's down a little bit or flat today. This is the August contract. And from there, we can dance our way over to the silver, see what the silver is doing. Silver is trying to march up a little bit. It closed in a daily buy yesterday, and it is also climbing up with no problem. So that is for what it is. And then from there, what else? What else can I say about any of that? I guess that's about it. So from there, we'll slide over to silver. Silverado. La, 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 la. And you see silver, like I said, climbing. Now let's go to copper. And copper, right there, doing the same thing. Very happy, going up. The weekly is not getting into the weekly buy, but at least notice the green is through the manifold there. Matter of fact, let's go back to silver and gold and see where their weeklies are. I know they're still underwater. It's like a dead cat bouncing them. That's the sad part. Let me do this. All right, mouse, calm down. Let's get that mouse going right. All right, so I know what I wanted to do. I want to save copper too. There we go. There we go. Now let's go back again real quick. Just look at silver. Silver, fast is breaking through, but the slow is not. Over in gold, Same situation. As a matter of fact, the fast is not even getting over. Look at this thing right here. What is that? Is that a base? Or is that just boredom? Hang on. Is that boredom or what? All right. Now, from there, we go over to platinum, which I think is like the canary in the coal mine. You can see it went into the sell yesterday. Still sliding down. Still in the weekly sell. Neither of the fast or slow algorithm has any interest on the weekly side to even look remotely bullish. So, and that's where we are. Where we are is where we are. All right. And that is the answer to it all. Okay, so from there, we go over to the energies, right? We go to energies. There's the back month, front month. You see it's having its issues like it was trying to get through a buy and failed. I think there's delivery problems. I think that's what that is. They must have the gunnels all filled up. You know, the pipelines are filled, and but you know the prices are not. The prices are moving down a little bit at the pumps around here. I've seen it as low as $3.33 a gallon, and that's not an imperial gallon with an extra quart. That's just a regular gallon. And overall, it's kind of. I mean, it's twice the price of what it was when Donald Trump was in office. So that's no fun. And we had $1.50 oil. I mean gas. We had dollar gallons in some places because they were so close to the refinery. They were paying $1, and their taxes were that low. But not under Jojo the monkey, the criminal Jojo the monkey. Now we can call him criminal because all the evidence came out yesterday. So it's the criminal president of the United States, Jojo Biden. He was on the podium and he said, it's a lie, and show me the money. And then he goes, oh, I'm only joking, and walks off the stage. What a wacko he is! Oh my God. I've been suffering with him for 48 years. Now the rest of the world is stuck in the same boat I am. He's a crazy boy. All right, and from there we see the SEP. As I said, the SEP's looking kind of lethargic, not really having any energy, And then from there we go over to Nat Gas. Nat Gas was trying to get into the buy for the last couple of days. Matter of fact, I think it was back here. And then all of a sudden now we're going after the sell again. We'll see. We're in that weekly sell for the last 3 weeks, and it looks like it's going to finish off there. Neither the fast or the slow is willing to get moving. That's the interesting part. Now over here on J4X, let's take a look at Brent. And there's Brent, and it's trying to slide down a little bit. And here is the West Texas, like right there. It's trying to slide down. And the green is below the yellow, just like it is with Brent, right there. It's trading in the 63 area, almost 64, and the green is trading in the 55 area. So, it's feeling that pressure there. From there, we go over to Spain, and we take a peek at one of the energy companies down there that kind of reflects the price of natural gas in Europe. And there it is right there, trading in the 26s. It's been as high as 28 of recent weeks and month, but it's fallen back down into the 26s, and we're hoping to see it drop down into the 16s. Let's take off a whole chunk there. Come on, guys. Take a whole chunk off. Chop it up for a cubic foot. All right, or maybe it's a cubic yard. I don't know. One or the other. Either way, it's a cubic, not a square. All right, from there, we slide ourselves on the clay court. I mean, our way over to the clay court. I mean, yeah, how do you like that one, Mountain? Sliding in. Maybe Robin was drinking his coffee and he didn't hear me say that. All right, and then from there, where we go? We did platinum and all like that. Oh, did I save that platinum? I'm gonna save that platinum. Matter of fact, I got to remove that there. I don't remember that being there, but let's do this. Let's grab that one and just stick that right there. I don't feel like making a new one. And then save workspace, and then save workspace as Versal. And then what we do is we save the chart itself. Right there. There we go. Ote! Ote. And then, oh, you don't want the energy side? Here's one. Here's heating oil. We do have it. We might as well look at it. I forget that we have that. That's kind of neat. You know, it's kind of sideways. It's been in a weekly sell since, as we would say around here, since the cows came home. It's been in a weekly sell now since middle of March, up in the 260, 250 area, that type of thing. And it was that 260 area right there. And then it's been, ran back up. They did the dead cat bounce thing right there. And then smack doodle down to the 220 area. Now it's trapped between 240 and 220. And this is the heating oil that we use in the wintertime. Also, it's kind of commingles with jet fuel and diesel fuel. So, they're all the same. The diesel trucks and the airplanes use basically the same fuel. And we use that also to heat a lot of houses, especially here in the Northeast. A quarter of the country uses heating oil. So now, brown cow. Let's see. I guess that's about it, isn't it? Is it? No, we got some time. I still got a couple more minutes. Anybody want to see anything? Ooh, I want to see something. Let's go over to, I want to see the hourly again. Oh, look at that. That's the stock market. It went into the buy right here. And we're getting a nice little run from the 95-ish area to the 3.5 area. The high now is 304.75. So that's a nice little 10-point move on the S&P 500. Let's check out the 1 hour euro right there. And see it. That's why I was warning you. You can't get long in there yet from this because we're still in this short right here. And it's trying to lift. It's trying. Now that one's starting to look a little real. Look at that. No tail. And we've got, 36 minutes to go still. So, Mountain says Novak Jovanovic is leading Carlos. Nice. Boy, if I wasn't so busy, maybe tonight I'll watch the replay. Maybe that's what I'll do. That'll be cool. So, from there, what else do we do? I guess that's about it. I don't have much more opinion. And I'm kind of a busy boy right now anyway. So, this is Doc from North America. We're going to get out of here. We will catch you all on Monday. TGIM. Thank goodness it's going to be Monday. And happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and have a smart weekend. So, not buongiorno, but arrivederci. Arrivederci.